Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome into the sanctuary, and welcome to all of you all who are joining us on YouTube. We're so glad you're here. It's a great day in the kingdom. It's a sunny day. Everyone is happy. It's February, and we're moving into the month of love. You'll see our bears as they are coming into. So welcome, welcome. So let's rise for our congregational song, and we will go.
I've got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Yes, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, I let go. Spirit run my life. You know that I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. Let me hear you. You know that I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Wonderful, wonderful.
I release and I let go, and let the Spirit run my life. And so as we go into our opening treatment, remember, it is about allowing, about letting Spirit run my life. That is our job, and that is what we're learning here at this center. So as we take this very connected breath, connecting all the parts of ourselves that may feel sticking out, and bring it in, knowing that at the core of my being, it is only God. So I breathe that in and allow that to be. And I know that as I come from this place, this precious place, my source, the source of all life, the Creator, Spirit, the divine God, when I come from that and allowing all of the life to move through me, I am exhilarated. I am filled with Spirit. I'm filled with delight. And so as I move through this service, I am excited to hear the music, to see the faces, to feel the words and their meanings move through me, because it's so good. All good. And I simply know that, just know that without any conditions, that it is all good and moves through me. And this word, my word, is for good. I allow it to be, knowing the creative process is taking it, making it so, and I allow it to be. So I just agree and say, and so it is. Yes. Announcements, and you're going to use this microphone.
I am, yes. Thank you so much. Good morning, beautiful people. I'm Valerie Reeves. It is my honor and pleasure to do the announcements. There's a lot of great stuff happening. So welcome to you here and all of you in Zoom land. Glad you're here today. Today's amazing speaker is the beautiful Reverend Mary Morgan. Woohoo! After service, do join us for refreshments in Richelieu Hall at 12:30. I will be doing a workshop called The Magic of You, because you're amazing in magic. And what would be a workshop without food? So there is food for everyone, whether you stay for the workshop or not. I did do some cooking, so there's some chili and some cream of broccoli soup and cornbread, and come and join us for some fun. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Tomorrow morning, Monday, great things have been happening. Monica Ruth has been doing the balance class. It's been very successful. Tomorrow's the last class of this session, but in a few weeks she's going to do another one for 5 weeks. So come get your balance, learn how to make sure that you're taking care of your body and strengthening the things that are important to strengthen. So thank you for doing that. Monday night, the men's group. I've heard that now they're meeting the first and third Monday nights at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., okay, sorry, I didn't make that note. 7 p.m. The men's group meets in the foyer on first and third Mondays. Tuesday, January 10th at 10 a.m., Reverend Kathy's in-person book study, The Untethered Soul, such a great book, is happening. So make sure you're here for that at 10 a.m. Also at 11 a.m., yoga will resume this week. So bring a yoga mat if you want to go. The cost is $10. And then on Wednesdays at 9:45 on Zoom, Reverend Catherine McKinney is doing Learn to Live with Irwin Seal. I have not read that book yet, but I've heard it's fantastic, so join for that. This Wednesday morning at 11 a.m., I will be doing the talk on Wednesday. Looking ahead to next week, the Women's Circle will meet the second Sunday now, so every second Sunday they'll be meeting. This is the time for the season for nonviolence. There are 64 days of nonviolence. We do have a nice printout out in the lobby that you can get. Powerful ways to heal, transform, and empower our lives and our communities, inspired by the 50th and 30th memorial anniversaries of Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. Education, knowledge. This is part of the education. So day 7, this is education for the season for nonviolence. Knowledge strengthens your conviction and deepens your wisdom and understanding. Learn about the power of nonviolence by educating yourself. Read or watch on a subject that relates to nonviolence. Learn about human rights, diversity, ecology, history, politics, forgiveness, spirituality, peace studies, and biographies of heroes. A lot of good stuff happening right now. And then February is our Bears of Love. Catherine mentioned that, Reverend Catherine did. So Bears of Love, you'll notice that every Sunday we get a few more bears in here. So if you want to donate a bear, hold a bear, give it some love, and then at the end of March, the end of February, beginning of March, we bless those bears and we take them to some wonderful places to make sure that they are loved by children. Just a little reminder, the Science of Mind study class begins at 10:15 every Sunday, ends at 10:45. Great discussions, reading more about the science of mind. Annual membership, just a reminder for those who have not paid yet for their membership fee that on March 5th we will have the annual membership meeting. If you've paid your fee, then you are a member and you get to be here and be a voting member for things that are moving forward. So that membership fee is $35. You can see the front desk after service. Big thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers. Thank you so much for our volunteers, from the sound group to the music to the ushers, hospitality. Thank you so much for all of your volunteering. We just appreciate you so much. Yay, let's give it up for them. Yeah. It takes a lot to run a center, so thank you all for your service. The center will be closed on February 20th as we all have a fun President's Day. And now it is my honor to present, and I didn't get to give you a hug earlier, but the amazing, wonderful Andrea Lane, who is singing today, along with Billy accompanying.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. What if every moment was a miracle? Every single moment. Ooh, every cell within me is a miracle. Each and every breath breathe. Ooh, I say go high. The storm will soon pass. I say go high. The storm will soon pass. What if every knife thrown was a miracle? Every door that did close was love. I'm choosing to be clear now. We are miracles. I'm choosing to reveal light. Ooh, I say go fly. The dark reveals light. I say go fly. The dark reveals light. What if every moment was a miracle? Every single moment. Ooh, every cell within me is a miracle. Each and every breath breathe. Ooh, I say go fly. I say go fly. I say go fly. Fly. Hey, there's that note. Yeah. Thank you.
Andrea Lane, so great. Let's give it up again. So good, so good. So I am doing the Sunday lesson, just a mini little lesson. And I always think of February as the month of love. Have you ever beat yourself up a little bit for the shoulda, woulda, coulda? Wish I woulda. Yeah, I might have done a little bit of that this morning. It's like, oh, if I'd organized my time just a little bit better. And then we let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, and be in the space of knowing that there's magic in each one of us, that there's love in each one of us. And just as Andrea's song was so beautiful, it's like the magnificence of who you are. I love that. And Ernest Holmes says it this way: the greatest gift life could have made to you is yourself. You are a spontaneous, self-choosing center in life. In the great drama of being, the great joy of becoming, the certainty of eternal expansion, you could not have asked for more, and more could not have been given. So as it is the month of love, it's a good time to recommit to ourselves, to love ourselves, to recognize the wonderful amazingness and uniqueness that is you, because there's nobody else like you. And the minute we get to wrap our minds around that, it's like, oh, I'm different, I'm unique, and that's okay. Because sometimes we want to fit a mold, and now we get to put that down here because we know that it's okay to be just who you are as you are, and just who you are not. I don't have to be anyone else, I just get to be me. I remember working with a 3-year-old, and I brought up a mirror, and I said, who is it? And he got so excited, he's like, oh, it's me! How many times are you doing that when you look in the mirror? It's like, it's me! Yeah, try that in a public restroom. I dare you. It's me! Because it's so, I'm sorry, that just made me think of my mom. She was in Chicago once at this big conference, and she didn't know anybody, and she's looking around, and finally she saw somebody she knew, and it was a reflection of herself. She's like, oh, that's awkward. So finding ways to embrace ourselves just as we are, and getting excited even when we look in the mirror, because those thoughts that are things that are creating our reality are happening 24/7, 365. So Reverend Mary today is talking about love is the answer. And when it comes to everything in life, it starts with the I am. I am love. I am pure and perfect spirit. I am perfection. I am divine. And keeping those wonderful positive affirmations at the forefront of our mind. Knowing that we are unique, we are blessed, and we all have a purpose. We showed up here. There is a reason. And if you're not clear on that reason, you can come to the Magic of You at my workshop this afternoon. It is free. Please come to it. All are invited. And I'm knowing that this is the best day ever. And so it is.
Excuse me.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Good morning. How fun it is to be here. It's good to look out and see everyone, and I'm sure I'm looking out at you on the TV land as well. So good morning. If you have a bear or some kind of critter next to you, please make sure to hug it. Give it a lot of love, because we're infusing these with love. I'm going to set my little guy. Where could we set him? He'll be right here. We'll let you right there for a little while. So today, my talk topic is love is the answer. And with that, I'd like to share a little spin on a love story. Okay. So there's a husband and wife, and they decide that they're starting to lose their memory a little bit. So they go to the doctor and they say, hey, what can we do to kind of trump up our memory? And he goes, well, you know, you guys are in great health. So maybe the best thing to do is just start jotting down stuff. If you start forgetting, just jot everything down. And so you're communicating with each other. She goes, okay, that works. So they go home and they go, that was a good idea. So the wife looks at her husband and she said, you know, honey, you know, would you mind going and getting me a bowl of ice cream? He's like, oh, sure. And she goes, but, you know, don't forget to write it down. He's like, I don't need to write it down. You're asking for a bowl of ice cream. So she goes, okay. And she goes, but you know what? Wait, I just thought. Honey, you know what? With the ice cream, could you put some whipped cream on top? So now I want a bowl of ice cream with whipped cream. But, you know, we better follow what the doctor said, and you better write it down. He's like, honey, I heard you. I get it. We're 2 feet from the kitchen here. I'm going to get you a bowl of ice cream with whipped cream. Got it. She goes, well, you know, as long as you're doing that, could I have a cherry on top? So I want a bowl of ice cream with whipped cream and a cherry on top. He goes, perfect. She goes, sweetheart, listen, we've got to do what the doctor says. You got to write down. He goes, I've got it. Don't worry. With that, he sets off to the kitchen, and he's gone for like a while. He's gone for like 30 minutes. She's like, wow. And so he comes back, and he brings her a big plate of bacon and eggs. And she's like, oh, sweetheart, this is wonderful. Where's the toast? That's love, you know, that's love. I don't know if she forgot or he forgot, but that's love. You know, Wayne Dyer says, karma is how people behave towards you is their karma, but how you react to it is your karma. And when we're thinking about love, it really does start with self-love. I love what Valerie said, because it really does start with self-love. If we have the capacity to love ourselves, it's wonderful, but if we don't and we limit it, we limit what we can receive as well, don't we? Because we're stuck in what it is that we're centered with about ourselves, about self-love. Love is just as much about our worth as it is about ourselves being able to receive. So the state of appreciation of oneself, it grows as we mature. It grows as we practice loving ourselves. It grows as we start to experience things and live openly and mindfully. But self-love is actually a practice. To appreciate ourselves, we have to practice some things. So what are some things we could practice? The first one is being mindful. Being mindful. People who have more self-love, they know what they think, they know what they feel, they know what they want. So when you're being mindful, you're paying attention every day to what is it that makes me tick? What is it that makes me feel alive? What is it that makes me feel like I'm one with the Spirit of God that created me? And another idea is about knowing what you want rather than what you need. Now that sounds funny, but think about the person that's in a job that they don't like or a relationship that they don't like. They're in that relationship and they're unhappy because they're not fulfilling what they need, what they really feel speaks to them in their highest good. So the idea is to let that go, right? And not stick with things that you don't like. Know what it is that you really need to make yourself feel fulfilled. Another one is to practice self-care. Meditate. Allow yourself to daydream. Allow yourself to visualize the biggest picture for yourself. You know, we've all seen that little cartoon of the little kitten that looks in the mirror and the reflection back to him is a great big lion, right? I love that picture. And it's not coming from arrogance, it's coming from see the big picture of yourself. See the absolute goodness and greatness and the miracle of which you were born by and as. The next one is set some boundaries. Set some boundaries. Know what you like, know what you don't like, and don't cross over. How many of us have done things that we said yes to things that we didn't want to do only because we felt obligated? Or we're doing things that we don't want to do because we feel obligated. Know your boundaries, because those boundaries actually establish self-love. It's a way of caring for yourself. Another one is protect yourself. I don't know about you, but for a while there, I had some what we call frenemies, right? They're kind of friends and they're enemies, but you gotta mesh with them, right? Because they're part of your everyday life. No, guess what? Limit the people in your experience that are not honoring who you are and are not seeing your greatness. It's so much fun, as I'm sure we all know in this room, to be with people that love us, that really, you know what, they're really for us, and you feel the difference. So you want to just establish relationships in your life that are for you. So those things that really build on you. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. That's a big one. Forgiving yourself. And what that means is you can take a look at things that don't work in your life or mistakes that you've made. You know what? And it's okay. It's okay. You can drop the ball. You can make mistakes. You can make bad selections with friends or jobs or whatever it is. You can get in debt. You can do all kinds of things. But it doesn't mean that you're not lovable and loved. It doesn't mean that you aren't worthy, right? So we all make mistakes because as long as we're here in this earth suit, that's what we're here to do. We're here to make mistakes and to learn about the goodness in ourselves. And how we learn it is by that resistance, that mistake. Oops, blew it. Guess what? You just go next. Oops, made a mistake. Next, and you move on. You move on. And then live intentionally. I love that. Focus on what you want and set your intention. Set out each day to be mindful. The poet Mary Oliver said, keep room in your life every day for the unimaginable. Imagine that. Keep room in your life for the unimaginable. And what that means is just allow yourself, meditate every day and just think about what are some great things that could be occurring in my life? Where is the direction I want to go? If the sky's the limit, you can always use this saying. A friend of mine taught me this. She said, if money were no object and success were guaranteed, what would I do? So every day ask yourself, if money were no object and success were guaranteed, what would I do? It's a great way to launch yourself into, what is it that I want? I read that the ability to love is like a light switch that you can either turn on or off. But when I read that, I thought, no, I don't know if that's so true. Because you know what? There's that thingy called a dimmer switch, right? And I think sometimes we just don't turn it on or off. Sometimes I think, I'm going to dim this one down a little bit. Things are going a little too fast for me. I'm going to dim this down. And then sometimes we forget to turn that thing back up again. Right? Because we have this amazing capacity to love, but sometimes we play smaller. When things scare us, we hold back a little bit. So it's important to go, oops, this scared me. Now I'm going to start taking some steps to love more. And why is it that we're scared? We're afraid that we're making a mistake, or that we're going to get rejected, or that we're not good enough, or whatever the myriad of million things and excuses we give to ourselves. But the idea is to say, you know what? I'm going to step beyond this. I'm going to step beyond this, and I'm going to love. I am going to love big. And we've all been in the presence of people that love big. It's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing to be around people. And it's powerful, too, because you know what? They know who they are. They're not hung up on what that other person's thinking about me or whatever. They are centered because they know who they are. Living in love is who you are in your day-to-day dealings. We're souls of the infinite. We are the light of God that shines out. We have been endowed by God with this amazing gift of love, with this amazing capacity to love, with this amazing way to communicate with one another and to really be present to one another. It is the biggest gift that you can ever get. But dialing into it and being aware of it and knowing that that's who you are, walking every day, it's like Valerie said, I see me. I see me. See yourself. And when you see yourself, you're seeing God. And when you look at each other, you're looking back at God. Isn't that amazing? Look at your partner just for a second. When I look in your eyes, I see the light of God shining back at me. And so it is. Now, didn't that feel interesting? Like in a good way? Interesting can be an operative word, I guess. It begins with training our minds to think into the result that we want rather than the condition. We do have it backwards. A lot of times we just look out at our life and we go, oh, I can't do this because I'm limited for this reason, that reason, the other reason. Baloney. Baloney. That's only temporary. Everything, all of that is only temporary. When we look at our lives and say, what is it that I want to achieve? What is it that I want to do? Where is it that I need to build that muscle, that self-love muscle, and get stronger about that? Because that's where it comes from. I love this quote. Warren Buffett said, what human beings are best at doing is interpreting all new information so that their prior convictions remain intact. Isn't that true? You know what? We so much argue for our own limitations. Do you ever have a friend, I'm sure nobody in this room did it, but you ever have a friend that you go, oh, well, how about doing this? They go, yes, but. And then you go, but, oh, you could do that, but yes, but. And there's all these yes, buts, right? So our butts become big. Probably literally and figuratively, but our butts become big, right? Because we have so many excuses to stop and block our own goodness from showing up. And the universe says, hello, I'm out here, I'm in you, let's go, I'm ready, ready, set, go. And you're like, what? No, I can't because of this. Stop. Oh, I'd like to do a quote. Now, Reverend Kathy has a wonderful book reading on Tuesdays, and they're reading this wonderful book called The Untethered Soul. And it's very deep, and it's very beautiful. And he gives this example. Michael Singer gives this example. He says, think about a rock when it goes in the pond and it creates the little waves. All those waves are the pushbacks of you doing things. And remember that life is always pushing us to the edge. Why? Not to drive us crazy, not to make us feel like a bad dog. It's to make us feel like, guess what? These are things that I need to take a look at. Leonard Cohen has a beautiful saying. He said, everything has a crack in it, and that's to let the light in. Everything has a crack in it to let the light in. And think of it that way. So everything that happens, if we hold ourselves back, it's fear-based. So there's either love or there's fear, and we get to choose. And sometimes we go, but I didn't really choose fear, but sometimes we're kind of stuck in our fear, aren't we? We don't know how to let go. I gave you some good pointers at the beginning. And the very first one is be mindful. Go, what is it I'm thinking? What is it I'm feeling? Where is it I really want to go? What is it I really want to do? And give yourself time to think about that. At my house, in the kitchen, I have a little table, and I sit there every morning, and I drink my tea, and I write in my journal, and I have a beautiful view of the mountain. But like this morning, that mountain was not visible because it was raining. Now, if you came to my house today, I'd be like, you're like, oh, this is nice, but why aren't you living by the ocean? There's nothing really here. I'd be, oh, no, there's a great big mountain there. You just can't see it. It's like, Well, I know the mountain's there. I know it's there. I don't have to prove it to anybody because I know it's there. But guess what? It only shows and reveals itself when the cloud is moved away. It's the same with love, that the closer we get, the more it reveals itself to us. So the idea is to let love show us the way. We don't have to tell things what to do, just allow it to reveal itself. Allow that mountain of love to reveal itself to you, and it will show up. It can't help but show up. At the very center of our being is love. We have the power and wisdom to transcend our challenging relationships when we move beyond them and we don't let the sense of being held back overwhelm us and stop us from moving forward. Like sometimes we feel like we've hit a brick wall about things, right? We can feel really stuck. But the idea is to say, okay, what's the way around this? If I look at every single person that comes into my life as a spiritual being that has a gift to give to me, what a difference it would make. Think about those people that give you a challenge. You go, but Reverend Mary, that guy's a real stinker. He is really hard to deal with. And, I've done everything, but gosh, I could love the spots off him and it wouldn't be good enough. But guess what? If you stop and come from the perspective of, that person is a spiritual being that I am one with. What is the gift that person has to give me? And what gift can I give him? And it's not a sock in the eye, right? What gift do we have to share with each other? And appreciate the person for that. And if you love them from that spot, the energy automatically shifts, doesn't it? You know why? Because we're all frequencies. We're all energy. We're all sending out that beam of love and energy constantly. And the moment we dial into that and say, ooh, gosh, I almost went down that rabbit hole of feeling judgmental and negative and why I oughta kind of a thing. And when you let that go, and you come from love and realize, they're in the human struggle just like I am. They're trying to figure out who they are just like I am. We are knowing about self-love and goodness just like I am. You're created by God and endowed with all the qualities and all the abilities of God. Do you realize that? Do you realize what that means? That everything that you know about, everything that you can do, it's right within you, right here and now. There's nothing you need to do and go out and get. You don't need to change to be yourself. All you need to do is be yourself. All you need to do is be yourself. Frederick Bales, in his book, Your Mind Can Heal You, fabulous book, by the way, check it out. Frederick Bales, How Your Mind Can Heal You. He reminds us that everything in the universe is harmony. It's all based on harmony. It's all based on love. Love is in harmony. Discord is not. Jealousy is not in harmony, and love is in harmony. Selfishness is in discord, but love is not. Everything that's in discord has its opposite. And when we dial into, is that how I'm feeling? Am I feeling judgmental? What's my opposite? Where is it that I need to go to see something different? As long as we hold on to that mental state that we are in harmony and we seek harmony, what we seek will be seeking us. But if we start to go into discord, and that could mean just by listening to a sad story, listening to the news, listening to things that don't support another person, if somebody's talking smack about somebody, right? If the second you do that, then all of a sudden you've gotten into agreement with discord, and we want to let go of that. You want to come from the place of love and feel that centered. There is a healing power in the universe that's ready to flow into our experience as soon as we stop blocking and building barricades to its coming. So I get to ask yourself today, how can I love myself more today? And how can I love someone else more? There's a story that I read, and it's a true story. I checked it out. I did check it out. And it was written in 2007, but the gal now could probably be in her 30s. And it was a story about a husband and wife. They had a little boy named Michael, and she was pregnant, and she was due with a baby girl. So every night, Michael would say, "Mommy, can I sing to your tummy?" And she'd sing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." You know that song, right? And he'd sing it every night. So it comes time for the baby to be born, and there were some complications. And the baby was in the neonatal ward and not looking like she was going to make it. And the mother was, and the boy was like, "I just want to see my baby sister. I want to see my baby sister." She's like, "I'm sorry, honey, you can't go in. You're a child, you can't go in." So she decides that they say it's getting worse and worse and worse, and she decides, you know what, this will probably be the only chance he gets to see his sister alive. So she sneaks him in and covers him in scrubs, they said, and walks him in, and the nurse sees him and says, "You're not supposed to have a child in here." And she goes, "This may be my son's only chance to see his sister." So he bends over and he sings, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine." They said the heart monitor started to change. They said that her breathing started to regulate. And the nurse was like, "Have him keep singing." And he kept singing, and he sang all the verses. And they said, "My goodness, this is amazing." And that baby went home by the end of the week. I have goosebumps when I tell that story. And I did check it out because I thought, oh, that's a lovely story, but it's kind of not fair if it's not real. Well, it is real, and the girl's name is Marley, and it happened in Tennessee. And they said, you know, he woke up to her love, his love, and their connection. And it really happened. They said that she has a fabulous relationship with her brother. Can you believe anything else other than? My goodness. Oh, I love this. You know, there's those T-shirts, and this is maybe particularly for Paul over here with his dog Skipper, who you have to meet, world's most wonderful dog. But you know, there's that T-shirt that said, I want to be the person that my dog thinks I am. I want to add that my cat thinks I am, because my cat Bo thinks I'm pretty cool too. But why is that? Because guess what? Our dogs, they don't care, our dogs and cats, they don't care what we look like. They don't care what our hair looks like. They don't care how much money we make. They don't care about anything other than, are you going to love me? Maybe are you going to give me a treat? But do you love me? Do you love me? I love you. I want to be with you. I think they'd be happiest sometimes if they were skin grafted to us. But our dogs appreciate us because that's the unconditional love pool. That's the pool that says, you know what? I don't care about any of that stuff. I love being with you. I love being in your energy, right? So that's wonderful to dwell on and think about, okay, then I am going to be the person my dog thinks I'm. You can use that as your launching pad for your self-love. You know, in The Wizard of Oz, the wizard says to the Tin Man, you know, my sentimental friend, your heart is not judged by how much you love, but how much you are loved by others. How much you are loved by others. So I want you to think about something for a second. Think about the people in your life that have passed. Think about the people that have gone. And think about how they impacted your life, how they loved you, how much richer your life is right here and now, even though they're gone, because they loved you. Because they thought you were special and that you mattered. Isn't it amazing? If you could love yourself the way they loved you, wouldn't that be marvelous? Isn't that a way to begin? Now think about the people that are alive that you love. My first question to you is, have you told them today that you love them? Don't forget that. Don't let this day end without telling the people that really mean something to you that they mean something to you. Because it's important. And think about how you feel when somebody tells you how much you mean to them and how much you inspire them or how much you make a difference in their life. You know, a lot of times they say we are in love, we love being in love because we love the person we become when we're in love. Have you noticed that? And who is that? That's your great self. That's that infinite, wonderful, joyous, exuberant, radiant, shining person, because that's how they see you. That's how they see you. And that's who you become, right? So you're like, oh, I love this love stuff. This is great, because I feel wonderful. I feel wonderful. In the end, it's how much we believe about ourselves, isn't it? It's how much we believe. Do you believe that you're a loving being? Do you believe that you were created by this cosmic intelligence that says, my goodness, I love you so much, I'm going to give you everything that you desire. But the deal is you have to know it. You have to believe it. You have to see it. You have to trust in it. And you have to work it. You have to practice it. You have to let that love really be something that you want to be. You have to let that love really be the real grounding work of who you are. Our world always provides evidence for what we seek. It always does. What would it feel like to only listen to the voice of love without judgment? What would your life feel like if you didn't judge yourself constantly or criticize yourself or be admonishing about things that you've done? You don't need to learn to be who you are. You just need to allow your God self to shine. You just need to allow your true nature to reveal itself and express itself. Let love lead the way in every circumstance. No matter what the issue, love is the answer. Love is who you are. Love is who I am. And that really is the truth. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Love is the answer. And it doesn't matter what the question is. That wonderful story. I have to tell you, I had a tear. I definitely had a tear. That's a wonderful story, and I believe it. I do believe that the the love from the brother transcended. I just think it's wonderful. Thank you, Reverend Mary. That was delightful. And so the ushers are coming down for our offering. This is the time when we give back to this center and to the opportunity to share with the bounty that we know that we are given. And so we are going to say our blessing. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. So I'm going to, before I bring up Andrea, I am going to share with you our mission statement. Our mission, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the life of all we serve. And this is the letter that I am sharing today. I am so grateful for this center and all of the classes and group activities we have. And of course, we're having one today, aren't we? I really like book readings and the discussions where lots of people talk. I love the in-person, but I love the Zoom one as well. People coming from all over the country just to read the book. I'm just excited about new things that are coming, and I thank you so much. I love letters like this, so thank you for this. And so now, Miss Andrea is going to come up. Andrea.
Yeah. Okay. The more I'm grateful, the more I'm thankful, the more I have to be grateful for. I'm blessed, and you are too. You see me working with the law of attraction. The more I have to be grateful for. I'm blessed, and you are too. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. The more I'm loving, kind and forgiving, the more that others do the same for me. I'm blessed, and you are too. The more I'm shining, feeling my glory, the more I know that everything's alright. I'm blessed, and you are too. I'm blessed. Sing that with me. I'm blessed. Yeah. You must act as if it's already done. I am acting as if it's already done. Here we go. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. done. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I will have to tell you that my granddaughter is usually watching on YouTube. She loves Andrea. She absolutely loves her energy. So yes, and welcome back, Billy, as well. That's wonderful. I have to tell you, because, I have to slip my granddaughter in here where I can. That's the way it is. She's here today, but she's staying with us, and our house has a lot of mirrors in it. The people that lived there before, they're all over the house. Well, I was noticing when Reverend Valerie was talking about her granddaughter, her mother seeing this child that looks in the mirror and goes, "It's me." I will tell you what my granddaughter does every time she sees these mirrors, which is several times a day. She goes, "Cheese?" So if you're unwilling to say, "It's me," in the bathroom, you can go, "Cheese." It's fun. It is very fun. So this is a wonderful week. It's a wonderful month. We've got this fantastic workshop this afternoon with Reverend Valerie, The Magic of You. I'm just saying we've got so many cool things going, just like the letter writer said. So share those. They're for you, and we welcome you. So we are going to do our blessing as we move through this service and the rest of our day. I know divine love enfolds me. Divine life leads me. Light lives in me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me. And divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life in expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, and with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life, because there is only God. There is only God. There is only God. It's a wonderful thing to know. So let us rise and sing this peace song like you've never sung before, with love and peace and God. I invite any practitioners to come and be available for any service. Please consider a practitioner for yourself today. It's a wonderful thing to do. So come on.